Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Would you like even more content? Here's my Patreon. Now onto the stories. Case file number 1257, written by WReddit90, Glimpsing Across Time in Granada. While studying in Granada, Spain, my friends and I would frequent a few different tapas bars. One in particular was run by a lovely husband and wife duo. The wife had a mysterious aura about her and often wore intricate jewelry and clothing. One day, I half-jokingly said to my friend, "I think she's from the future." In classic, fearless form, he walked up to the bar and asked her, "Are you from the future?" She replied, "No, I'm from the past." Her beaded necklace proceeded to immediately fall apart with the pieces scattering across the bar. We all kinda just stared at each other and were pretty speechless. Over the next few months, we'd pry her about it, but she always played it off like nothing big happened. Fast forward to our last night in the town. We said our goodbyes to the couple and were waiting outside the bar for another friend who was using the bathroom. He exits with a spooked look on his face and opens his hands to reveal two beads. Her necklace broke as soon as you close the door. She wants person 1 and person 2 to have these beads. At that point, we all seemed to acknowledge that we had witnessed something truly surreal. Still hard to believe it happened, but I've confirmed the string of events with numerous people present in the decade since. Case on file 1257, Glimpsing Across Time in Granada. It does sound like she knew something odd was afoot. Perhaps her soul was linked into the past, and she wasn't entirely aware of this on a conscious level. But, indeed as you say, her aura felt mysterious. Perhaps because it wasn't fully manifested in her present time body. There was a disconnect present that, when thought about by humans, created a reverberation in spacetime. Hence the necklace breaking. There was an actual effect when thought about, and the second time too when leaving. I don't think she was fully aware. I think she was just joking about it, but not truly believing she's from the past. But her soul might just be in two places at once. Case file number 1258, written by Aza Universe. My phone went poof and saved my life. This happened 2 years ago. I gathered my purse and bags to head to the grocery. When I walked out to my truck, I realized I forgot to check the digital coupons and weekly flyer. So I got in my truck, whipped out my phone, and looked up the deals. Then I drove 5 minutes to the grocery store. I park and get out, walk into the store, then realize I left my phone in my truck. My list was in it. So I walked back out to the truck and my phone was gone. Thinking someone stole it, I said damn today. I got back in my truck and just drove home. I get home and walk inside only to see my phone perfectly center on my living room coffee table. I stared at it for a second thinking it wasn't real, but there it was. So I grab my phone and go to the store. I finish my shopping and head back home. About halfway home, there's a bunch of cop cars and an ambulance on the highway when it goes over the bridge. I switch to the other lane, and as I drive by, I see that a big box truck had crashed through the concrete median and was almost completely in my previous lane. Had my phone not disappeared, I would have been in the exact spot where the box truck crashed through the median. Case on file 1258. My phone went poof and saved my life. So yeah, classic guardian angel event. It makes you question how these item disappearances may often relate to our little angels protecting us. If you think about it, these guardian angels aren't actually descending from the sky with like a giant shield of energy to protect us from bullets and cars, no. But even more useful would be to alter our path so we're not even in the line of danger to begin with. I wonder when I lost my tennis balls twice, had I not, would I have wandered into a more precarious area? Or was it pure chaos of the universe? I'm not convinced that all DOP equates to guardian angel interaction, but sometimes, yeah, I could see that. Bonus file written by Snot Girl, the Black Shadow Stalker. When I was a young girl, up until I left home at 16, I used to see a black shadow or silhouette following me around at home, especially in the upstairs landing. For example, I'd be laying in bed and I'd see a black shadow in the corner. Or I'd see it pacing in the hallway. When it moved, it was a lot fuzzier. It's hard to explain. I tried to see if it was a blowing tree from outside or something to explain its movements, but never was. I told my mom about it, but it was always brushed aside and I stopped bringing it up. I got a high-rise single-sleeper bed and I could see above the door when it was ajar into my hallway, and I had a friend stay over. We slept next to each other, as kids do, and she also saw the pacing shadowy figure. I felt relieved when someone else saw it, and stomach-churning dread that it was really there. I continued to see it after I left home, in the corners of my room. I hated it, but I was kinda used to it in a messed up way. It wasn't an everyday thing either, maybe once a month or so. I went through a rough patch and had a volunteer support worker come to help me, and she instantly felt the flat I was in was bad and something was there. I told her about it and she believed me, offered no advice, but recognized my fears. During this time, I met up with my mom and we started chatting. We don't see each other often, and we sometimes butt heads, but today was a good day and we started to talk about ghost stories. She has a few absolute blinders. She told me that her mate was sat on a chair in our living room and she had a view of the top of the stairs and she saw the pacing shadow thing. My heart dropped into my arse and I said, "What next?" They used to go to a spiritualist church and they actually brought it up and they said it was an entity that had attached itself to me. I had no idea of this or why I was only hearing it now, but I asked for more and there wasn't any. That was that. Well, whilst I was at the flat, I met my current partner. And when I moved out, we moved into another place, and I haven't seen him since. I felt the presence very rarely. I don't get scared easily, but it's pretty much gone. A few years back, me and my mates all pitched in and got a psychic to come to a friend's house and tell us all something. She was amazing and even predicted 2 ladies getting pregnant, and their genders, amongst other things. My turn, and she saw nothing really. Couldn't see I had a family or anything. Total block. But she knew about the shadow thing. Apparently it was an ancient spirit of a man that had attached itself to me and found it hard to let go. She offered her services, but it wasn't much of an issue anymore. Once I got my long-term current relationship, it all stopped. So yeah, that's one of my stories. Weird. Okay, so it's for the bonus file. The Black Shadow Stalker. So that's exactly where my mind was going to after the first paragraph. A lonely spirit, not malevolent, but wanting a connection that was robbed of him in life. So my guess is killed on his wedding night, or maybe on his honeymoon. It's even possible that this happened centuries ago, and you're the reincarnation of the same kind of soul that he was in love with. But fear not, these entities are ripples, echoes. They aren't the full person, the full soul, not at all. So I don't think you have anything to fear. It's more of a loose tether that's elastic, and indeed as you move locations, just couldn't keep up with you. And now time for the quote of the day. All love that has not friendship for its base is like a mansion built upon sand. Ella Wheeler Wilcox. What is love if not strong friendship? There's adult behaviors, sex, and all that, and that can bond people, but there are people out there that have strong relationships and, marriages even without any sex at all. They're asexual. If that's possible, then it means that sex shouldn't be the bond. It's not the glue that holds everything together. It's like a bonus, a cherry on top. But if you don't have a strong friendship with the person you're with, I don't think it can work. I don't think it will last and endure. You need to have that strong bond with someone that you're supposed to spend your entire life with. Partners in crime. 2 people against the world. If you don't feel like that with the person you're with, maybe they're not right for you. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.